Good morning. I want to walk you through, there's a lot of information, so I'm just going to jump right to it. This is going to help everybody tremendously for our upcoming coaching sessions. You will not be really needing to pull much data when it comes to at least coaching the relocation side. Here is what you're going to need to do. Carrie has sent you an email, and it says, save this email conversion report. A couple of them said new conversion report, the first couple that she sent. But it was sent on 9/25. And in there you had a link to go ahead and look at the report. So let's go ahead and click on that. And we're going to open up a link. The link is going to take us to web reports. And I'm going to show you a couple quick things from here. First of all, the first thing I want you to do is, whatever your server, whichever browser you're on, we want you to go ahead and save this link, because you can use this link anytime, and then you'll be able to delete that email. So for me, I bookmark by using this. I've already done it, so I'm not going to do this. But go ahead and save this bookmark and save this link so that you can get to it anytime. Notice here that it automatically defaults to 1 year. So right now it's running from 9/29/2013 to 9/30/2014. You'll notice that this date will go to the end of whatever month that we're in, so it'll actually go past 1 year. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change anything. It's just how the report defaults. It's pulling exactly 1 year data. For what we're looking at for conversion, there is no data beyond today. Next thing you see is where we can actually drop down and find agents. So this has confused a few people. You're going to notice and think, oh, this isn't for me. These agents are not in my branch. This is all agents in NM, and it's just the way that the report works. You will not be able to see any agents that are not in your branch. However, the names will all come there. We're hoping to add a find button here so that you'd be able to get to an agent much quicker. I've already pulled a report that I feel very comfortable showing, since it's just outstanding. So I'm looking for Susan Wittenberg, and HI. Let's see where she is. So there she is. So if I wanted to pull the report, I would click Susan Wittenberg, and then I would click View the Report. Since it's not Susan, since Susan's not in my branch, and I used my link, I'm going to go ahead and pull, let's see, Tanya Cunningham. So Tanya Cunningham's in my branch. I'm going to say yes, that's the report that I want to pull. It's important that you only pull one agent at a time if you're doing coaching, so that only their information is in there. We're going to want to be able to give them this information when they're done. So once Tanya has been selected, notice that it then adjusts and it gives me a choice here in the subtype. It automatically defaults to say, I want to see all of the business that we've assigned to Tanya. That's incoming. However, if I did want to see, has Tanya done any outgoing referrals, I could change this box and come to an outgoing referral. I'm going to leave it as incoming, and I'm going to go ahead and view the report. And now a report is coming up. Immediately when you pull this report, what I want you to do is come over to here where we can export this. And you're going to go ahead and say, let's put it in Excel. The only time I would really think that we would put something in a PDF would be, and I would select only PDF, is if an agent had left us and we wanted to remind them of the responsibilities of any referrals that they had with us. Then I think it would be good to put it in as a PDF. For our own agents, we want to do this in Excel. And then right here is the export button, and you'd hit export and it would come into a report. I'm not going to do that because I've already got one going, and I'm going to switch off of here. This is what you're going to see when you've done that. So let me go ahead and find Susan. Maybe this is it. Okay, so I had pulled Susan Wittenberg's already. So this is what you're going to get. You're going to see this. The report will come out right like this. This is, we're now in Excel. Notice what you can see without clicking onto anything. You see that Susan has an average sales price of $346,575, that she sold $6,931,000 in the last year, and that out of those sales, Susan has made $62,970 in the last year. That is her take home after all fees. So this is a nice start to coach to just see some basic statistics. And what you're seeing here is her overall, of all business that Susan has received across all categories, she has a 63% conversion rate. Let's drill down a little bit further. I've done some editing to this already, and I'm going to show you why I did it and how I did it. First thing you're going to do is you're going to click right here where Susan's name is, or where your agent's name is, and come up and you're going to click View, and then you're going to want to freeze the panes. So right now I have a choice to unfreeze the panes. I'm going to do that, and now I'm going to go back and hit. You won't have to unfreeze the panes, they won't be frozen. So this is what you're going to see, and instead of choosing top row, you're just going to choose freeze panes, having clicked on the number 6 so that you're highlighted all the way across. Click freeze the panes. What that's going to do is allow you to see these see this information as we scroll down through the report. The next thing that I did is I went down and I found my final sales. So come down to your first set of final sales. These are your buyers, and click into any area before and scroll out. And it doesn't matter what color you chose, but I chose a light green, and you can see that color is right here, and we've done that. And then scroll down a little bit further, and you're going to find your sellers, and you want to do the same thing. Just highlight that information. You'll see why when we go through how to use this report and best uses. So now we've got that done and we're ready to go. We're going to go ahead and click File, Save As, find an area where you're going to do your coaching from. So right now I have it saved on my desktop under New Conversion Report, but you might want to create a file for all of your coaching and put an individual one underneath each agent, and then you're going to click Save. This has already been saved, so we're going to go ahead and replace the one that I have. Now I'm going to go into my email. I'm going to get an email set up. Susan's coaching report. Susan's coaching, and I'm going to go ahead and attach. And I know that I saved it on my desktop under New Conversion Report. And here it is. And so now I am all set to send this to Susan when we're done. And I can type any notes that we come up with when we do her report at the time that we're going through it. So if there's anything that she needs to follow up on or I need to follow up, I can type it right here in the email. And then when the coaching session is done, I press send, and both of us have our marching instructions. So let's open back up Susan's report. What are we looking at? First of all, we're going to see that Susan has, if we back out, right, we're going to open it up, Susan Wittenberg, 63% overall, and now we're going to see that Susan's done traditional business, and of a traditional relocation, she has 24 total files. She's done 12 finals, 6 deads. So here's something new. When we're doing conversion, this is all we're counting. We're saying anything that is a final decision. Final meaning that it has sold, or final meaning that it has gone dead and the file has been closed out. So there are 18 total decisions. Susan has 12, or 2/3 of them. She has a 66.7% conversion rate. On buyers, you can see is the next thing. There are 13 total buyers assigned. There are 7 final and 3 dead. So 10 total decisions, 7 of them final. She has a 70% conversion rate. Here's her one active buyer right now. We'd obviously want to talk to her about that. We'd then also want to look at her deads and say, Okay, what happened with these deads? How did things go? Why did we lose these people? This one we were never able to get to. You notice that we have a dead reason. And we also have some great information. So where were they looking? They were looking in Fairfax. This one was looking in Burke. This one was looking in Vienna. This could tell us a story of eventually, when we're looking at agents, where are they tending to lose people and where are they tending to sell people, and may help us really narrow in on where they either need to strengthen their market knowledge, or maybe that's not the best area to assign something to them. It'll tell us when that went dead, and it'll tell us why it went dead. This one's particularly interesting because it's a move canceled. That potentially is something that we can get a decline on. Don't worry about that. We are actually going to run this report and look for all of those scenarios and go back and double back with Cardis. Sometimes you get this one approved by them and sometimes you don't, but this would be an easy one for relocation to go back and say, maybe we should try that one again. So then we can look out a little bit further. What kind of files were they, right? So in each case, they were USAAs. Okay, so we've got some information there. Notice we have mortgage and title and all this information that we're going to look at shortly. But notice that there's PEQ out here. Sometimes we get a dead file, but the person goes ahead and fills out their comments, often saying, in particular, like a case like this where their move is canceled, they might say, hey, Susan was a 10 out of a 10. I just didn't buy anything. So if we got a result, it's going to be in there. This PEQ general was what is their overall experience. This agent one is obviously what was the overall experience with the agent. So now we're going to come down a little bit further and we're going to see all of our final sales for buyers. So here they are. So when we look for Susan, we're going to see, okay, here's where she's done a great job. They were looking in Woodbridge, Burke, Clifton, Fairfax, Alexandria. So she has a pretty diverse area where she's been able to make some sales. And we're going to scroll across. We're going to see that the majority of these were USAA, but here's one from this is a broker to broker, so she's done a couple of different types of business. So for a broker to broker, this would be a great one. The actual primary mortgage company that we're asking on a broker to broker is First County Mortgage, and you can see that Susan has done that. She also used Hazelwood Title. Here, the primary is USAA. She used USAA and she used Hazelwood. Here the primary is USAA, but she used First County and used Hazelwood. So she did do a save the deal on this file, so this is better knowing that we did a save the deal and it required weekend coverage. Obviously that's not counted as an honor of the source, but we understand, and she went from honoring the source to honoring the company. Here she honored the source, here she honored the source, here same thing, but her save the deal was not considered to be whatever Susan submitted, and you could go to the file for this and read the notes in Relo spec. Whatever she submitted kind of didn't really work in terms of being able to tell USAA why did we use First County. So this was the one real mistake on her card, and it looks like she tried to do a save the deal. It's just the reasoning that she sent in, and it's probably that she told us a little bit too late before USAA ever had a chance to do anything about it. Notice that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files, and on those 6 files, Susan has received 3 returns, and all of them are 10s in everything that she's done. This is why I'm showing Susan, by the way, because her report card is outstanding and I don't feel like I'm embarrassing anybody. So now we move down a little bit further. This is on hold, right? So we definitely want to remind Susan, hey, this person is probably out there for the future. How far out in the future do you think they are? What's your strategy to follow up with this person? They're obviously long-term. And then Susan had 1 person reassigned in this entire period of time. If you saw somebody that had a lot of reassignments underneath them, you might want to ask, hey, why do you think so many people are needing to be reassigned? So now we have the next thing, which is our sellers, right? And on sellers, we had a total of 8 decisions out of 11 that have been assigned for a 62.5% conversion rate. Here are our deads. Here are the reasons. So in these 2 cases, they used another broker, and here's another move canceled. Here are her decline to opportunities. These were assigned to her. She sent us invalid reasons why we couldn't do the business with them. These were the reasons, and we ended up being able to get those files declined. And here are her final sales. And if I scroll across her final sales, obviously we've got the same information that we're looking at. You can't judge the mortgage and title business quite as closely, but you can judge how have we done on the PEQ, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's got 3 returns, so 3 out of 5 is a 60% return rate. We would take that all day long, especially when our agent is getting 10s across the board. So that's Susan's coaching report. Her one other thing that she has in here was, if you see right here, there's an OGL. So we would be able then to open up her OGL business and say, hey, we were able to assign one OGL office generated lead. It went dead. Why did it go dead? And the destination changed. We could look across and see the various information and see a conversion rate for Susan. This conversion rate is 0%. It does not affect any of our other areas. And again, if she had done lead router or rentals, those would be here too under subcategories. So now we've spoken to Susan. We've taken a look. We say, hey, you know what? We've got a couple of people that, on this report, you've got some people that the on holds that you need to call. And you've got maybe some of these people who didn't return the survey. Maybe we could see if they could return the survey for us. How are you going to get in touch with them? Well, here's the information right here. Here's our file numbers in case you have a question for relocation. You could cut and paste this file number and send it to relocation and say, hey, we're not sure what happened on this one. Could you check into it, please? Or for Susan's follow-ups, she has the client's last name, their first name, the client's email if we have it, the client's home phone if we have it, and the client's cell phone as we have it. So you can immediately close out the report with Susan, finish your coaching session. You now have a report that says, call the on holds, call on holds, call actives, follow up on survey, on surveys not returned. You get the point, right? And anything else, oh, by the way, Susan, I committed that I would do the following, I'm going to do XYZ for you. And now you have something in your file that you can save and say, okay, this is the last time we had a coaching session. These were your actions. These are my actions. Here's all the information. Let's take one more look at what we're looking at when we pull open a report. I want to make sure that you understand timelines. For any dead or any final, it's pulling exactly by that 1 year status. For our actives, it's going to pull anything that Susan has active for any period of time. If she has something open from 2008, it's going to show up because that doesn't affect her conversion rate. Only the deads and the finals are going to affect her conversion rate. So these are running on the 1 year timeline. This is running on, there is no timeline. Anything that's there, same thing, or her finals. Anything that's on hold doesn't affect her conversion rate. We're going to show her everything that she's got. Reassigned actually does work off of a 1 year status. So we're only going to see anything that's been assigned in the last year. We have nothing declined, but if you notice down here, decline no opportunities, that's all going to be, even though it doesn't affect her conversion rate, it's only going to show us what's happened in the last year. And then finally, I know that Susan has a pending, and for pendings, it's going to show everything that we have in the database. So the only thing that is limited by that 1 year is final sales and deads, because that's what affects Susan's conversion rate. Hope that makes some sense. Hope this report is really helpful to you guys. We are updating the links right now. I don't think your link actually gets you into all of this information yet. Maybe I'll wait and send it if I know that we're going to have that before the end of the day. If not, I will send this to you. If your link doesn't work, we're updating it so that your link will work and that your link will allow you. Please remember, save that into your file. If you save that into your favorites, you'll always be able to get to it. This link will be sent to you automatically by ReloSpec once a month, but there's really no reason why you should ever need to get it. You should be able to pop right into your favorites and pull any agent that you want. Remember that when you're pulling an agent, pull one agent's information. Otherwise, the drill downs in that report would give access to other agents. So click just the agent that you want to do the coaching report for, and go ahead and have great coaching sessions. Please let us know if you have any questions.